Hey, what's up guys, this is DarkArmedDuelist, and today I'm going to be doing a Destiny Hero deck profile. So this deck is a really fun deck that just got even more support in Dark Neostorm, and it's a really fun deck with this new hero called Destiny Hero Dominance. So this deck is amazing because it has its own fusion spell now that can be really awesome and use your Destiny Heroes directly from your deck to be able to fusion summon, and even summon Destiny Hero Dominance. That's one of the best fusion monsters ever created in my opinion, and it's just an amazing deck that can speed turbo out Dark Law, Destiny Hero Dominance, Destiny Hero Plasma, and all sorts of other amazing monsters in this deck that is just crazy good. So anyways guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, tell me what you think of this deck down in the comments down below, and let's get straight on this. Before we do, don't forget to hit that bell in there so you can become part of the notification squad so you can get every notification of me uploading a new deck profile, because we do daily deck profiles on this channel. So let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're going to be playing one copy of Destiny Hero Plasma. Destiny Hero Plasma is a good one-of in the deck. It is almost like a Egyptian God card, because you have to tribute this monster by special summoning, by tributing 3 monsters on your side of the field, and then once per turn you can select an opponent's monster and then attach it to this card as a material, or attach it as an equip spell card, and it gains half its attack, and then while this card's faceable on the field, negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent currently control, or on all the monsters that they control, period, which is just an amazing effect. This card is so good to play as a one-of, and I really am glad that this card is a good one-of in this deck, and I'm really glad that we can finally play Destiny Hero Plasma in its own Destiny Hero deck. Then I play one copy of Destiny Hero Dogma, just so we can go into Destiny in Dragoons, which is really an amazing card. But when this card is normal or special summon, you have to tribute 3 monsters, same thing as Plasma, and then you can, including at least a Destiny Hero monster, and then if you special summon this card, half your opponent's life points during your opponent's next standby phase, which can be really huge. This card is really good during time rules, because you can just special summon this card out by tributing 3 monsters, which is really easy to get out in this deck with Destiny Hero Dominance. Special summon now 34 beat stick, half your opponent's life points during the beginning of their next turn, and if you're during time, you automatically win the duel, because there's no way they're going to get half their life points back anyways. So then we play 2 copies of Destiny Hero Malicious. Destiny Hero Malicious, it's 2 sadly, but it's still a good 1-of or 2-of to play in this deck, because it's really easy to utilize in this deck, and we don't want to play too many monsters that are high levels. So we play the 2 copies of Malicious. I wish it was 3, but we only have 2. Then we play 3 copies of Destiny Hero Drill Dark. This card is really essential to the deck, because you just normal summon it, and then you can link it away with the other one that you special summon out with it for Extra Hero Cross Crusader, which is an important card to the deck to be able to summon out other Destiny Hero monsters. But if this card is normal summon, you can special summon a Destiny Hero monster from your hand with attack less than or equal to this card's attack on the field, and then you can only use this effect once per turn. And then once per turn, this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, inflicts piercing damage. So it inflicts piercing damage on top of it, which is really cool. Then for the 2-ofs, we're going to be playing 2 copies of Celestial. I thought about dropping this down to 1, but I still play 2 of it. When it declares an attack, you can target a spell or trap on the field and destroy it, which is pretty good. And then if you do, you inflict 500 points of damage to your opponent. When you have no cards in your hand except this card, and except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish it and 1 other Destiny Hero monster in your grave to draw 2 cards, which is really good to be able to draw additional cards in this deck. Then we play 2 copies of the new card, which is Destiny Hero Draw Hand. This card is really good in this deck, and I wanted to play it at 1, and then I kept reading it, and I kept wanting the second copy when I was playtesting it, so I ended up bumping it up to 2. But its effect is, if this card is special summoned by the effect of a hero monster, any hero monster, which can be Elemental Hero Solid Man, which we do play, you get to draw a card, make each player draw a card, and during the next hand phase, after this card was sent to the grave, you can special summon this card from your grave, but banish it when it leaves the field. So it just puts itself back on the field to get you additional plays, which can really help you out with link plays as well, because this deck does a lot more link plays than it does XYZs, and does links and fusions. That's all I play in the extra deck. You don't need any XYZs, you don't need any synchros, and you don't need any rituals, obviously. So then we play 1 copy of Destiny Hero Decider. This one's okay. It kind of sucks that it's once per duel, but when it's normal summon, you can add a hero monster during your end phase of the turn. But again, it's just a once per duel effect, which kind of sucks, but that's why we play it as a 1-of. This card was very power crept, and they really put too many restrictions on Destiny Hero Decider for it to be really good. Then I play 1 copy of Dynatag. Dynatag is a good 1-of in the deck, because during the damage calculation, when you would take battle damage, you can discard this card to make the battle damage 0. And then, if you do, each player takes 1,000 damage, and you manage this card from your graveyard, then target a Destiny Hero monster you control. It gains 1,000 attack, which can make your Destiny Hero Dominance go up to 3,900, which is huge, just huge for no reason. Destiny Hero Dreamer is another one that we play as a 1-of in the deck. Basically, during damage calc, if your Destiny Hero monster battles, you can make this card, and this card's in your graveyard, you can special summon this card, make the monster unable to be destroyed by battle, and if you do, you take no battle damage from that battle, and if this card is summoned this way, you banish the card from your grave, you banish it when it leaves the field, which is not that big of a deal, because you're going to get that 1 destruction prevention, which is important. And then for the last Destiny Hero, we're going to be playing 1 copy of Destiny Hero Disc Commander. It cannot be special summoned from the graveyard the turn it was sent to the graveyard. And if the card is special summoned from the graveyard, you can draw 2 cards. It really ties in well with the copy of Destiny Fusion, because you're going to want to send normally, if you don't have Malicious in hand that you're going to summon off the Drill Dark, you're going to want to usually send your Disc Commander, your Dreamer, and a copy of Malicious so you can special summon it to summon your Dominance from the deck off of your copy of your Destiny Fusion. Then for the Elemental Heroes, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Elemental Hero Solid Man. So Solid Man is just here because he's pretty solid of a card. When he's normal summoned, you can special summon a level 4 or lower hero monster from your hand, and if this card is sent from the monster zone to the graveyard by the effect of a spell effect, you can target a hero monster in your graveyard and special summon that target. Basically, though, we're just looking for that ability to be able to Goblinberg out another monster onto the field, which is extremely pivotal to this deck, to being able to special summon out an additional hero monster from our hand. Then we play 2 copies of Shadow Mist. You need the double Shadow Mist because you can special summon it with your Elemental Hero Solid Man to get it out on the field, to get that search, or if it's sent to the graveyard, you get to add a hero from your hand, from your deck to your hand. So then we play a Stratos just to search any of our hero monsters that we need. We play an Honest Neos just as a good hand trap. It's searchable 2500 attack boost hand trap. 3 copies, and then for the final 3 monsters, I play 3 copies of Vision Hero Vion because it can send any of our heroes to the graveyard, and it's a polymerization searcher as well. Just being able to search out polymerization just by banishing a hero from the graveyard is extremely pivotal to this deck, because you can make a fusion monster just by fusing 2 of your Destiny heroes or 2 of your hero monsters together to go into your Vision Hero extra deck monsters like Vision Hero Trinity or Vision Hero Adoration as well. So that's a really important card to play in the deck. And to be able to Foolish Burial, you show your graveyard, your Destiny Hero Malicious, you can go into Wonder Driver, or you can go into Cross Crusader, or you can go into anything that you really need to go into with just this card. So it's really important to be able to play that card in the extra deck. So that's it for the main deck monsters. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to be playing 1 copy of Reinforcements of the Army. This basically just searches any card you need in the deck when you need it, which is extremely important to being able to get to your cards. It searches any of your level 4 lower warriors. 3 copies of E-Call. I play 3 copies of E-Call because I think that 3 is the best number for this deck, because you're going to want to get into your like Stratos and your Elemental Hero Honest Neos and your Solid Man. Like, it's essentially playing 6 Solid Mans. If you have Solid Man in hand, search the copy of Shadow Mist to be able to go into Dark Law, or search something like Vision Hero, or not Vision Hero Vion, but like Stratos to add any of your heroes to your hand. Anything that you need with E-Call, it's there. 3 copies of Mass Change. I feel like 3 copies of Mass Change is important because you want to be able to make Dark Law as quickly as possible. So the 3 copies of Mass Change is pivotal for this deck to be able to go into Dark Law. So you're laying down the law on your opponent, which I'm quoting Richard. I hope he watches this video and sees that. I mean, it's just too good. He actually just moved, and I hope the best for him. I really hope he's doing good out in Georgia. I live in Alabama, guys, if you guys don't know, but he just moved out of state. And he's doing it for education purposes, and I really hope that things are working out for him. I need to call him soon, but just shout out to him. Really excited for him. So then I play 2 copies of Polymerization. You need the 2 copies of Polymerization because it lets you go into any of your Fusion extra deck monsters, and it's just a good card overall. 3 copies of Fusion Destiny. Fusion Destiny is it's what Red Eye's Fusion should have been. It's really what Red Eye's Fusion should have been. You fusion summon 1 fusion monster from your extra deck that lists Destiny Hero monsters as materials, using monsters from your hand or deck as fusion materials, but destroy it during the next end phase of the next turn. Also, for the rest of the turn, after this card resolves, you cannot special summon monsters except Dark Hero monsters. which is not a big deal because the majority of things that we're going to be summoning is Dark Hero monsters, and I'm not worried about that anyways. Then we play 3 copies of Destiny Draw. You need 3 Destiny Draws because a lot of your Destiny heroes thrive from being in the graveyard. Then this card literally is just Pot of Greed. So why wouldn't you play this at 3? Plus I had 3 secret rares, so I figured I'd throw them in there. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, I'm actually playing a solid hero extra deck. So we're going to be playing 2 copies of Destiny Hero Dominance. You could get away with 1. I like 2 personally. It's generic because it just takes 3 Destiny Hero monsters to go into it. And during your main phase, you can look at the top 5 cards of your opponent's deck and then place them back on top of the deck in any order so you can see exactly what they're going to get and put their hand traps down lower so they don't get them, so you can just go at your opponent. And then when this card destroys an opponent's monster of battle, you can draw a card. And if this fusion summon card is destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can target 3 level 9 or lower Destiny Hero monsters in your grave with different names and special summon them. And you can only use the effects of Destiny Hero Dominance once per turn. But that's the cool thing about Fusion Destiny, is it does destroy the Dominance, which gets you 3 Fusion, or gets you 3 Destiny Heroes on your side of the field. It triggers Disc Commander, and you can also get stuff like Malicious back on the board or something like that that you need. 2 copies of Dystopia. This card is a good interruption on your opponent's turn because it can increase its attack by 1,000 or something like that. And then it can destroy a card on the field, which is pretty cool. But Dystopia is a good, solid 2 of in the deck. 1 copy of Destiny Hero Dangerous. This card you make sometimes. You just put it on board, and then you get to send a Destiny Hero monster from your hand to the grave. And if you do, you get to send a Destiny... All Destiny Hero monsters gain 200 attack and defense for each Destiny Hero monster in your grave, which can be pretty big pretty quickly. Destiny Inn Dragoons. I really want to play this because I have it as an ultimate rare, so I put the 2... Plasma and Dogma in here, and it's a decent card. It's probably one of the ones that I go into the least, but if I don't draw into them, I use Fusion Destiny to go into this. A fusion monster can only be conducted with the above fusion material, so you have to use Dogma and Plasma to summon this, which is not a big deal. Then once per turn, you can destroy a monster on your opponent's controls and inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's attack. And if you activate this effect, can't attack during the battle phase. Not a big deal because you're already removing. And then during your standby phase, if this card is in your graveyard, you can remove play a Destiny Hero monster from your grave and special summon it. So it just keeps coming back and coming back. So I feel like it's a good 1 of in the deck. I don't ever think I'd played it more than 1 because it's hard to get out. And I don't want to play multiple copies of Plasma and multiple copies of Dogma. 1 copy of Adoration because it's probably one of the most generic cards in the deck that you can go into because it just takes 2 hero monsters to go into. 1 copy of Trinity. You can OTK your opponent really easily with Trinity. 2 copies of Dark Law because Dark Law is laying down the law. And you can just prevent your opponent from doing so many things with Dark Law on the field. 1 copy of Extra Hero Dread Decimator. This card I make sometimes. It comes in handy as well because this card is also treated, or it's always treated... This card also, any hero monster this card points to gains 100 attack for each hero monster with a different name in your grave. And if this card attacks a defense position monster, you can inflict piercing damage, which is pretty good. And I like the link arrows, so that's why I play it as 1 of. Wonder Driver because it works with polymerization and stuff like that. And then 3 copies of Extra Crusader. The Extra Hero Cross Crusader. It just takes 2 warrior monsters. I don't play Isolde in this deck. You could totally drop the E-Calls if you want to play Isolde in here and play equip spells. Like, there's a couple of cards in the deck. If you don't want to play Destiny and Dragoons, you drop Plasma and Dogma and then drop the 3 E-Calls and play, drop one of these and put in like 1 copy of Isolde, and then you could go into Isolde plays if you want to. I actually dropped that out to play the E-Calls, and I originally was playing the Isolde package in here, but I dropped it out because I wanted to go just a focused on the Destiny heroes and extra heroes and just heroes in general. So if this card's link summon, you can target Destiny hero monster in your grave and supposed to summon it. So basically you can link summon it for 1 material almost. And then you can tribute a Destiny hero monster, add a hero monster with a different name from your deck to your hand, which is extremely important to be able to do because you can add any hero monster you want, like Elemental Hero Honest Neos. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you really enjoyed this one. It's a really, really fun deck. I cannot emphasize that enough. It's super easy to play, especially with Dominance around. It's probably my favorite version of heroes is Destiny heroes until Evil heroes come out, and I'm really excited to play those. But anyways, guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think of this video down in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See you around, guys.